Hey guys, Wolfie, HereBThree here, and we went to the flea market today and we got some pretty cool stuff. I don't want to brag, but got you guys some presents. Not the viewers, Alfie and Blue Badger, but hey, maybe if you guys like us on Patreon or subscribe to the channel, we'll do a giveaway. I've been trying to get a lot more into comics in general, and I was reading a bunch of Doctor Strange stuff recently, and all of the Marvel movies happening. I just want to know what's going on, and the comic world is just crazy. There's so many different types of comics out there, so just really wanted to get back into comics and back into magic. So just so everybody knows, today we're going to learn a little bit about comics. We're going to have a couple of magic videos coming up soon if we can get everything all figured out, and might have some animations on the way. So without further ado, here's today's video. Sorry if there's any aspect changes. First time trying this setup. My tripod is literally a box with a hole in it. But we're starting out with some good stuff. Adventure Time with Finn and Jake. Astounding Wolfman, which I've never read, but it's a free comic book day, Image Comics, and I like wolves, so what am I going to do? The guy said he wanted 3 for $1, and I couldn't say no, you know? So a lot of people are off-put by the way things are set up. If it's not super familiar and kid-friendly, then they think it might be a little scary and off-putting. The biggest haul I got today was Excalibur. I don't know that much about it. What I do know is that they have Nightcrawler in them, and this guy down here, Captain Britain. I think they have Kitty Pryde with them too, but it's essentially an off-brand X-Men Avengers thing. If you have access to opening up the comic, you want to open it up, and on the first page it'll tell you like whatever title of this issue that you have now is, also the writers and all the artists. This is important if you want to start collecting. It's always a good idea to start collecting and just following someone's career so that you can have a more steady flow of comics. And then down here in the super fine print, it'll show you the name again and what edition it is and the year. Now this is kind of more what a normal comic looks like. It has the stamp, which shows, at least for Marvel, headshots of most of the main characters in the series, and it'll have some sort of price tag and something that looks like a date. This essentially is just July, and this is the 10th edition. It doesn't mean that it came out on July 10th. This guy was selling these at $1 a piece, but what he didn't realize is that he had them double bagged. So now I also have the 9th edition of Excalibur that came out in June. It doesn't mean that this came out July 10th and this came out June 10th. It means that this came out in June because it's the 9th edition, and this came out in July. It is the 10th edition. And I was able to get 7 and 8, 5 and 6, and I picked up number 2. This one doesn't have anything on it, but that's not bad. Applies. It's a lot easier to read stuff off of the stamp, so you don't have to open it up. But if you want to read it for later, you can open it up. A lot of these have ads everywhere. Ninja Turtles ad. I don't even understand this ad anymore. But this one, all of the fine text at the bottom here explains kind of what's going on. And it says right here, Excalibur, Volume 1, Number 5. February 1999. Boom. February. There's not an actual date, but it's the 5th edition, came out in February. That's all we really need to know. One of my favorite series, Doctor Strange. Started reading it, and I was able to get 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is going to lead into what we're going to talk next, but just looking off these stamps, it's pretty cool. Down here, Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, Volume 1, Number 2, January 1989. This is where it starts getting weird, because this isn't the original Doctor Strange comic series. This is Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. So this isn't as old as Doctor Strange. And the reason is because whenever they would come out with a new series with older characters, they still have to name it something else, so that it's not like, you're not getting into things where it's like, it's issue 500 and something, which still happens with some of the more popular ones, but it's not something that you want to keep going, so that you have to make people remember, like, oh yeah, remember issue like 587, that one was kind of good. No, you want to be like, you remember issue 10? Issue 10 was the best. It was bomb. But this is issue 2 of Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. And I got, well, what do we get? 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's not bad. This is essentially an arc, except I'm missing the first one. So it's like a 4 comic arc, or their individual stories. And then these two is Doctor Strange, and then it says the Faust Gambit Part 1, the Faust Gambit Part 2. Most of the time, that'll say Part 2 of whatever, Part something of something else, so you kind of know what you're getting into. But these ones didn't, but I kind of just wanted them because they were the next sequential one. As long as it's the same title, you should be okay. If you have questions on it, open it up, double read the fine print. It'll be somewhere on this page or this page, and it'll tell you the actual title, Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, and the actual editions. So I want to end the video just to see what I got, right? So I found this guy, he was selling out Gambit number 2. Now, I love Gambit. We got Spider-Man, first of 4 collector's item issues. Looks kind of promising. It's a number 1 of Spider-Man, which means it's gonna be, Spider-Man's just great. I love Spider-Man. Look at his face. He's adorable. The only problem is this is Spider-Man Saga. I don't even know if it's worth anything or if it's even comics, but it looked promising, so I wanted it. This is Cloak and Dagger number 1, first issue. Cloak and Dagger is one of those Marvel properties that isn't super popular. If you guys watch TV, you'll know that Cloak and Dagger is getting its own TV show on like Freeform or A&E. Some cable channel that's not Netflix is getting a Marvel property. That's pretty fucking cool. Lastly, this guy. I have no idea what this comic series is. I found it and he's like, hey, all of these are free, do you want them? And I'm like, sure. And I found these. If you guys have ever heard of this guy, you let me know. This guy is called The One. The last word in superheroics. So we got 5 of 6. Really missing 1. When you start collecting comics, you gotta make sure that if it's a limited series, you get most of them, or else it's not really worth getting if you're at like a swap meet, like a Goodwill or something. This guy looks interesting. If you guys have ever heard of him, let me know down in the comments below. Hey, I hope you guys learned a little bit about comic books. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you on Wednesday.